Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So we have a Social Security increase set to be announced in just a couple weeks by the Social Security Administration. In today's video, we are going to be covering 3 things that you need to know about it. But before we go ahead and dive into for today, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you 1 free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into for today. So once again, coming up in just about a couple of weeks on October 15th, to be exact, the Social Security Administration will be announcing the next Social Security increase. This is going to be because of the cost of living adjustment, or COLA for short. This is something that's guaranteed to happen almost every single year where there is some sort of inflation that takes place. So in today's video, we're going to be covering 3 things that you need to know about it, in addition to how much of an increase you can expect to receive. Once again, this is going to be announced on October 15th. So according to the Motley Fool, these are 3 things that retirees should know about Social Security COLAs. Also, if you receive SSI or SSDI, these are also good things to know as well. So there's a lot of buzz these days about Social Security's upcoming cost of living adjustment, or COLA. The Social Security Administration is scheduled to make a 2026 COLA announcement in less than a month. And if you're someone who gets benefits, you may be eager to find out how much yours are set to increase. Whether you're new to Social Security or have been getting benefits for years, there are a few things about the program's COLAs you may not be aware of. Here are 3 things you should know about as far as Social Security COLAs go. So the first thing is that yes, they are automatic. So prior to 1975, in order for Social Security benefits to get a raise, lawmakers had to vote one in. Since 1975, though, Social Security COLAs have been automatic. If there's an uptick in inflation from one year to the next, benefits do go up. And this is a very, very important thing. Prior to 1975, once again, in order to receive any type of benefits increase, they did not have a cost of living adjustment back then. So they actually had to pass a piece of legislation. Can you imagine if they still had to pass a new piece of legislation every time they wanted to have any type of increase as far as Social Security goes? Do you think it would ever get done? Do you think that Democrats or Republicans would ever get on the same page and actually vote in an increase? More than likely not. More than likely they would just play political games in Washington and we would never see any type of increase if not for these cost of living adjustments. So thank goodness they actually got something done. And they actually voted in these automatic cost of living adjustments to happen. Now, the second thing that you need to know is that they're not guaranteed, though. So just because Social Security benefits are eligible for a yearly COLA, it doesn't mean that they go up every single year. If inflation doesn't increase or if it decreases from one year to the next, Social Security benefits don't get a bump. And since COLAs became automatic, there have been just 3 years when Social Security recipients got no raise at all. Thankfully, when there's a decrease in inflation from one year to another, Social Security benefits simply stay where they are. There's no such thing as a negative COLA. And that's also very important because in the years where prices actually go down across the board, there's deflation that takes place. You're not actually going to see a benefits decrease take place. You're going to receive exactly what you did in the prior year, except prices are going down. So you're actually coming out ahead in those cases. Whereas in most years, you do receive some type of cost of living adjustment increase, but usually prices are also going to be increasing at the same rate, or in a lot of cases, actually the prices increase even more than the cost of living adjustments because as we've seen, cost of living adjustments over the years have just not kept up with inflation, unfortunately. And they go on here to say that in fact, thanks to a hold harmless provision Social Security benefits can't even decrease from one year to the next due to the combination of a small or non-existent COLA and a Medicare Part B premium hike. And seniors who are on Medicare and Social Security at the same time pay their Part B premiums out of their benefits directly, but a rise in the cost of Part B can't reduce a Social Security benefit from one year to the next. So for example, in 2026, they are projecting a Medicare Part B premium hike of right around $21.50 per month. This is going to be very significant. So in the case that you're only going to receive like a $20 per month increase, and the Medicare Part B premium increase is going to be by $21.50, you would actually be losing almost a couple of dollars there, since you can't actually lose money because of the increase in the Medicare Part B premium. You're not actually going to see like negative money in those cases. Now you can see up on the screen the cost of living adjustments over the years. And once again, you can see that in most years since 1975, there was some type of cost of living adjustment that took place. And during the late 70s and early 80s, the COLAs were absolutely huge. In 1975, there was an 8% cost of living adjustment. In 1980, there was a 14.3% cost of living adjustment. That was the record. In 1981, the following year was 11.2, then 7.4. That was very close to what we saw just a few years ago, back in 2021, where it was 5.9%, and 2022 was 8.7%. But since then, of course, it has gone down to 3.2% and 2.5% over the past couple of years. And then finally, the third thing that you need to know about the upcoming cost of living adjustment is that they have caused seniors to fall behind. So they said, although the purpose of Social Security COLAs is to help ensure that seniors can keep up with inflation, those COLAs often fail to live up to that promise. In fact, the Senior Citizens League, an advocacy group, found that between 2010 and 2024, Social Security recipients lost 20% of their buying power. Part of the problem is that Social Security COLAs are not calculated based on a senior-specific index. Instead, they're calculated based on changes to the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which is generally not a good reflection of the cost that seniors on Social Security face. So once again, losing 20% of buying power over the last 14 years. That is very significant. That's why we have a lot of lawmakers in Washington advocating for switching from the CPIW over to the CPIE. The CPIE is going to much closer reflect the things, the goods and services that people who receive Social Security typically spend on, and CPIE on average is usually a little bit higher than CPIW, so hopefully we don't see the same loss of buying power over the next couple of decades. Now, according to Google AI, as far as the COLA estimates go, once again, this is going to be announced on October 15th, but they are estimating anywhere between 2.7 to 2.8% as of late September 2025. They say that this estimate could increase benefits by roughly $650 to $670 annually for the average retired worker. So again, not too bad there, not the best, not like an 8% increase, but certainly better than nothing at all. And as they do mention there also, one thing that you do have to keep in mind is that the Medicare Part B premium is also looking like it might be increasing by right around $21.50 per month. So in the case you're going to receive an increase of right around, let's say, like for example, $50 a month, the increase in the Medicare Part B premium of $21.50 is almost going to cut that amount in half. So it's not going to be like you're receiving $50, flat more. You're also going to be paying even more for your Medicare Part B premium as well. So that's also something you'll definitely need to factor in. And once again, this is going to be announced on October 15th, and you're not going to receive your increase yet reflected in your check until your January payment, unless, of course, you receive SSI benefits. And in the case you receive SSI benefits, you're going to be receiving your January 1st check one day early, because January 1st is a federal holiday. So you're going to be receiving your January check on December 31st. But with that said, that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it, and I will see you in the next one.